You might be wondering why I'm standing in the middle of my yard with a bunch of hay. It's because I'm a crazy person, and you too can be a crazy person. What I'm doing here today is farming? Question mark. So last year I read something online and then watched a whole bunch of YouTube videos, like we all do, about the Ruth Stout method, which is effectively a no-till gardening method for growing your own onions and garlic and potatoes, which I have to say are very tasty. So with that in mind, last spring I put down about 10 bales of hay in this very area and planted potatoes immediately. And they did grow and the plants grew, but we had a drought, but I wasn't watering this because somebody online told me that if you do the Ruth Stout method, you don't have to water it. And that is not true. But it's true if you live in an area that's not just sand. And we are, unfortunately, in an area that's just sand, which is why I'm doing it this way. So what is the Ruth Stout method and why does it exist? Well, the Ruth Stout method is just putting on carbon-based hay-like material on top of the soil rather than tilling it into the soil and planting into that mat of material as it breaks down. So why does it exist? Well, there was a lady named Ruth Stout who lived in New England years ago. And one year when her husband was off at war, I believe, if I'm remembering the story correctly, she was having difficulty keeping up with all the gardening and the farming and things that they used for their sustenance. And so she started planting in hay bales or thereabouts and had a really good crop that year of potatoes and carrots and other things that were root vegetables growing specifically in hay. Why? Well, hay basically just acts like mulch and compost in one. And so it's like planting in a compost pile while also planting in a mulch pile. So you're not going to get as much weeds, but you're also going to have the sustaining moisture absorption of compost, essentially. And so she did it year over year, kind of became the queen of the no-till gardening. And before her death, they asked her, you know, Ruth, if somebody wants to do this Ruth Stout method, how much hay should they use? And she just said, more. So I'm putting down more. All right, as easy as this. And, you know, brother, if you watch this video, which I probably am going to send it to you, this is all I was talking about. Have your kids go out in the yard, put some hay down in an area, designate that as your growing space, and you're good to go. When do you do it? Best time is in the fall, because if you are in a zone with winter, it gives that hay time to break down into usable nitrogen and nutrients. And then come spring, you put down your potatoes, put another layer of hay down on top of it, and you're good to go. If you're in an area like mine, you do have to water it.